Loaded. You ever realized how bacteria help you digest every meal? It sounds strange, doesn't it? That something so small, so invisible, could play such a big role in every bite you take. You chew, you swallow, you think you're doing all the work. But really, you're only part of the process. The rest happens in the dark, in the deep, where trillions of microscopic allies wait in silence. Tonight, we'll explore this secret world inside your body, a city of living bacteria that transforms food into fuel, keeps your immune system in balance, and even whispers to your brain, "You are not just you. You are a walking, breathing ecosystem." And every time you eat, the bacteria within you wake up ready to help. So why do they do it? What do they get in return? And how did this strange, beautiful partnership begin? That's the story we're about to tell. But first, if you enjoy falling asleep to stories that make you smarter, like this video, it truly helps others find our quiet space. Subscribe to Science for Sleep for more calming science journeys. And tell us, in the comments, where in the world are you watching from tonight? It brings us joy to know how far these soft questions travel. Now take a deep breath, let your eyes get heavy, and let's journey inward to meet the tiny creatures who help you. Every time you eat, you are more than a single being. As you settle into stillness, feeling the rise and fall of your breath, know this: you are a host, a garden, a constellation of life. Not alone in your skin, but home to trillions of companions, quiet ones, tiny ones, working while you sleep. These are your microbes. They are always with you. They don't shout, they don't demand, but they are busy. Even now, as your body winds down deep within you, they continue their gentle labor, breaking down the remains of your last meal, whispering to your cells, holding your immune system like a soft thread between their tiny hands. Bacteria, that word may carry shadows, but not these. These are your allies, your digesters, your alchemists, the ones who help you transform food into energy, nutrients into life. Imagine them now, nestled deep in your belly, in the long and winding cave of your gut. They don't see you, but they know you. They thrive on your rhythms, your choices, your meals, and in return, they give dot. They break down the tough fibers. You can't. They create vitamins your body cannot make on its own. They craft short-chain fatty acids that soothe inflammation and feed your cells. This invisible world has always been a part of you. From your very first breath, microbes began their journey, passed from mother to child, from touch, from milk, from earth. They moved in before you even knew they existed, and they stayed. They change with you, with age, with stress, with every bite you take. Your unique collection of bacteria is like a fingerprint. No one else has quite the same mix. When you eat, they eat. When you rest, they do not. They are the night shift workers of your body, toiling in silence to keep you well. They don't act out of kindness. They act to survive. But in surviving, they help you thrive. They are ancient, older than your species, older than your ancestors. They evolved alongside us, shaped by what we hunted and gathered. They taught our immune systems what to fight and what to welcome. They formed the invisible threads that connect food, gut, and mind. And now they are here, beneath your ribs, Beneath your skin, a symphony plays. The score is ancient, the instruments small, but their performance is powerful. You are a being of cells and stars and stories, also of bacteria. They do not define you, but they are part of you, essential, enduring, always. So as your thoughts soften and your breath deepens, remember, you are never just one, you are many. And when you wake, they'll still be there, ready to help in the next chapter. We'll gently travel further inward to meet the tiny organisms who live within your gut, waiting in the shadows of your intestines, shaping your health with every quiet meal. For now, let yourself drift. There is peace in knowing you are never truly alone, not even in sleep. Beneath your belly button, past layers of skin and muscle and tissue, lies a winding path of secrets. It coils like a long ribbon of time. This is your gut, a dark and quiet tunnel land. It is teeming with life, not the kind of life you can see, not plants, not animals, but microbes, tiny beings, invisible to the eye, but vast in number. There are more microbial cells inside your body than there are human ones, and most of them live right here. The gut is their kingdom. Imagine walking into a great underground city. No buildings, no lights, only movement. A hush of constant activity. Trillions of organisms, each with a task, a role, a rhythm. Some break down fibers. Others produce nutrients. Some ward off invaders. Others simply keep the peace. Bacteria, archaea, fungi, viruses, all neighbors. Some native, some just passing through. Together, they form your gut microbiome. Each person's microbiome is different, shaped by birth, by diet, by environment, by time. Yours is like a fingerprint inside you. From birth, these microbes begin to gather. You inherit some from your mother during delivery, more through breast milk, and still more from the world around you. The first years of life are when this community blooms. What lives in your gut isn't just surviving, it's helping. Bifidobacteria help you digest breast milk when you are a baby. Lactobacillus assists in breaking down sugars. Akkermansia keeps your gut lining strong. These are not enemies, they are quiet partners. But not all microbes are helpful. Some can cause problems if they grow too strong or appear in the wrong place. The key is balance, harmony, diversity. When the microbial world is balanced, your digestion works smoothly. Nutrients are absorbed, toxins are filtered. Your immune system stays calm. But when this world is out of balance through illness, poor diet, stress, or antibiotics, the delicate ecosystem can falter. Digestion becomes difficult. Inflammation rises. Even your mood can shift. Yes, these gut microbes speak to your brain. Through chemicals, through nerves, through immune signals. The gut is not just a tube. It is a talking organ, and the ones whispering are the microbes. They tell your immune system how to behave. They help decide whether something is a friend or foe. They can even influence your cravings, nudging you toward foods they prefer, and they never stop working. Even as you lie still, even as sleep draws near, they are there, breaking down complex carbohydrates, fermenting fibers, releasing vitamins like B12 and K2, crafting neurotransmitters like serotonin. They are not machines, They are living beings, sensitive to the foods you eat, the air you breathe, the thoughts you carry. And they live not in chaos, but in structured communities. Some gather near the walls of your intestines. Others float in the center like fish in a stream. Some are active during the day, others do their work at night. Together, they create a rhythm that follows your body's clock. They respond to light, to sleep, to stress, to hunger, to love, to loss. There is a strange kind of intimacy in knowing this, that you are never fully alone, that deep within you, a world is always awake. These creatures are not strangers. They are part of you, and they want to thrive, because when they thrive, so do you. And while your gut may seem simpler, long-coiled tuphtha, reality is anything but. It is layered with intelligence. Its surface is like a rainforest, dense and diverse. Every centimeter is precious real estate, and every microbe has a reason for being there. They cling to mucus. They find shelter in folds. They build colonies. They defend their territory, and they do it all without your awareness. This is symbiosis, a long-evolved truce. You give them food, you give them a home, and they, in return, give you digestion, protection, insight. So tonight, as you rest, think of them not as invaders or freeloaders, but as part of your team, part of your story. Let this knowledge calm you. Let it settle in your chest like a slow exhale. You are not just one. You are a planet. And what lives in your gut is proof of that. In the next chapter, we follow the path from the first bite to the belly to see how microbes meet your meals and begin the magic of digestion. For now, close your eyes. Let your inner world keep turning. Let your microbes do what they do best. It begins with a single bite, a piece of fruit, a forkful of rice, a sip of warm soup. The moment food enters your mouth, the journey of digestion begins. But it's not a solo act. The microbes are already waiting. In your mouth live hundreds of species of bacteria. They are not enemies. They are scouts. As you chew, you are not just breaking down food into smaller bits. You are mixing it with saliva, liquid, rich with enzymes, but also teeming with bacteria. These oral microbes are the first greeters. They examine the food, start to break down sugars, send signals ahead to the rest of the digestive tract. From mouth to stomach, the food travels through a narrow tunnel, your esophagus. Muscles squeeze and release in perfect rhythm, guiding the food downward. But not everything makes the journey. Some microbes stay behind. Others cling to the bits of food, hitching a ride into deeper realms. The stomach, though, is no gentle place. It is an acid ocean. Its pH is low enough to melt metal, and yet life endures here too. Helicobacter pylori is one such resident. It's adapted to survive in this harsh place, hiding beneath the mucus that protects your stomach lining. It's been with humans for thousands of years. As the food churns in the stomach, it mixes with digestive juices, acids, and enzymes that begin the breakdown of proteins. Some microbes perish here, but others, clever and resilient, the plunge. From the stomach, the food moves into the small intestine, and this is where the real magic begins. The small intestine is warm, wet, and full of life. Here, bacteria begin to multiply. They recognize the food. They recognize you. Complex carbohydrates are broken down further. Proteins are turned into amino acids. Fats are emulsified and absorbed. But the small intestine is selective. It absorbs nutrients quickly. It leaves little behind. So the food that continues on into the large intestine is often rich in fiber, the kind your own body cannot digest, but your microbes can. This is their feast, from mouth to microbe. The journey has been long, but for your gut bacteria, this is the moment they've been waiting for. In the large intestine, the microbial population explodes. Trillions of bacteria reside here, more than in any other part of your body. They take what you cannot use and turn it into what you can. They ferment fibers, create short-chain fatty acids that nourish your gut lining. They produce vitamins. They sculpt your immune responses. They calm inflammation. This is not chaos. This is a collaboration older than language. The journey of food is also the journey of these microbes, from the bite in your mouth to the breakdown in your belly. They are there guiding, transforming, surviving. And while the food travels forward, the microbes communicate. They send signals through the gut-brain axis. They talk through molecules, through neurotransmitters, through the enteric nervous system. Some signals travel up the vagus nerve, reaching your brain in seconds. Others move through the bloodstream, slower but steady. They tell you when you're full, when you're hungry. When something's not right, they influence your mood, your cravings, even your dreams. Every meal is a message. Every bite writes a story. And the microbes are the silent scribes. So tonight, as your body rests, your inner world is active, digesting, balancing, creating harmony from mouth to microbe. The path is sacred, ancient, perfectly timed. You don't need to control it. Just nourish it. Eat with kindness. Chew with awareness, because within you is a world that listens. And tomorrow, when you eat again, remember, it is not just your meal. It is theirs to dot. In the next chapter, we'll witness what happens when that first bite arrives in the gut, and how the banquet for bacteria truly begins. Let that thought comfort you. Let your breath slow. You are a universe, humming quietly, and everything inside you has a place, a purpose, and a rhythm. Close your eyes now. Your microbes are hard at work. All you need to do is rest. The arrival of the first bite begins the moment. Your fork lifts something warm and comforting to your lips. A bite of bread, a spoonful of rice, a crisp leaf of lettuce. The first bite is more than taste. It is a signal, a switch, a sacred start. Before your teeth even touch the food, your brain has already begun to prepare. Saliva flows, enzymes awaken, muscles align. The microbial orchestra tunes quietly in the wings. As the bite enters your mouth, you chew slowly, mindlessly, but behind the scenes, bacteria go to work. These microbes aren't just passengers. They're your earliest collaborators. Streptococcus, salivarius, actinomyces, and Veillonella live along your tongue and gums. They start the breakdown of starches into sugars. They ready the bite for what comes next. Your saliva produced by glands, enriched by microbes, softens the food. The texture shifts. The taste intensifies. And when you finally swallow, the food passes through the pharynx and slips into your esophagus. Guided by peristalsis, those wave-like muscle contractions, the microbes that traveled with the bite arrive. 2. Entering a dark, acidic realm, the stomach here. The food meets gastric juices, hydrochloric acid, and digestive enzymes. To you, this is digestion. To your microbes, it is adaptation. Some die, many survive. Some bacteria are acid resistant. Others cling to food particles, like lifeboats. And just beyond the stomach lies their destination, the intestines, in the small intestine. The first bite becomes data. It tells your body what enzymes to release, what nutrients to extract, and it tells your microbiome what's coming. The microbes sense fat. They respond. They detect protein. They react. They recognize fiber. They prepare the bacteria. Here Lactobacillus bifidobacterium are specialized. They live in the folds of your intestines, creating enzymes your body cannot. They take starches you can't break down, fibers you can't digest, sugars that would otherwise pass undigested, and they make them usable. The first bite is fuel for you, yes, but more importantly, it is nourishment for them. It's a message. The meal has begun. Each subsequent bite brings more compounds, more chemistry, more collaboration. With every swallow, the microbial population shifts. It grows in response to what you eat. A diet rich in whole plants feeds fiber-loving microbes. A diet heavy in fats or sugars feeds others, some helpful, some not. But all of it starts with that first mouthful. By the time food reaches the large intestine, most of the proteins and simple sugars have been absorbed. What remains is mostly fiber, water, and complex carbs. And now the real party begins. The colon is home to trillions of bacteria. The majority of your microbiome lives here. When that first bite arrives, it becomes a microbial banquet. The bacteria ferment fibers into short-chain fatty acids like butyrate, acetate, and propionate. These molecules reduce inflammation. They nourish your colon lining. They signal to your immune system. They even cross into your bloodstream, reaching your brain. They calm your nerves, lift your mood, improve your sleep, all from the arrival of one bite. The bite you took without thinking. So each meal is a conversation. Each food, a choice not just for your body, but for the 100 trillion microbial voices within it. These microbes remember. They adapt to what you eat regularly. They shift based on what you stop eating too. A bite of yogurt nourishes lactobacillus. A spoonful of beans feeds Prevotella. A piece of fruit strengthens Faecalibacterium prausnetzi. You feed them, they feed you. It's not just nutrition. It's a mutual pact. And when the first bite is rich in whole plant-based, fiber-packed foods, you begin a chain reaction of healing, of cooperation, of balance. When it's processed, sugary, and artificial, that chain falters. Diversity drops. Inflammation rises. So the first bite matters. It sets the tone. It sets the stage. And your microbes are listening. In the quiet rhythm of your gut, the echoes of that first swallow can be felt for hours. They shape your cravings. They affect your energy. They decide how much of that food becomes you. You eat the meal, but they digest it. So tonight, as your body lies still, your microbes are working. On breakfast, on dinner, on that little bite you took without thinking. Let that thought calm you. You are never alone. Inside you lives an ancient partnership, and it begins every time with the arrival of the first bite. Sleep now. Let your inner ecosystem take care of the rest. In the next chapter, we'll explore what your invisible dinner guests are really feasting on, and how their meal shapes your health more than your own. Rest gently. The feast continues. By the time your lunch reaches the lower parts of your digestive system, you've already tasted, chewed, and swallowed. Your body has done its part, breaking down fats, absorbing proteins, extracting sugars, and now it is the microbes turned down in the colon, winding home of trillions and invisible banquet begins. The leftovers of digestion are far from waste. They are the beginning of a feast. Fibers your enzymes could not digest. Compounds your body cannot process. Molecules too complex for your own cells to understand. All of it becomes gourmet nourishment for the bacteria that dwell within you. These invisible diners don't eat like you. They ferment in a world without light or air. Fermentation is survival. Take resistant starches, the kind found in cooled potatoes, legumes, and underripe bananas. They arrive untouched in your large intestine. But to your microbes, they are treasure bacteroids, and Firmicutes' two dominant bacterial groups go to work. They ferment these starches. In the process, they release gases like hydrogen and methane. And more importantly, short-chain fatty acids, SCFs. Butyrate heals the gut lining. Propionate helps regulate glucose. Acetate influences appetite. Each compound is a message. Each message supports digestion, energy, emotion. Your gut microbes do not sleep. They do not rest. They work through the night, processing the remnants of your dinner. Even now, as your body winds down, the inner ecosystem thrives. They create vitamins like K2 and biotin. They recycle bioacids. They break toxins into harmless fragments. They are your quiet chemists, your inner engineers, and they know exactly what to do. This living world is deeply personal. No two people have the same microbiome, not even twins. Yours is shaped by where you were born, how you were born, what you ate as a child. Every meal you've ever had has left its trace. Your gut remembers, and yet it can be changed. Within days of eating a fiber-rich diet, new strains bloom, beneficial species expand. Inflammation calms. The ecosystem responds. This is why every meal matters, because your microbes are listening. When you eat mindfully, you feed them with care. You restore what modern life often disrupts, and they in turn will help you digest, absorb, and thrive. So tonight, as you drift into sleep, your inner ecosystem hums. A jungle beneath the quiet, a rainforest curled inside your core. Invisible, but not silent. Tiny voices, carrying out ancient instructions. They are not separate from you. They are part of you, and in every bite, every breath, every dream, they are there working for you, with you. Always imagine a factory that never sleeps, a place of constant movement, collaboration, and transformation, not made of steel or smoke, but of soft tissue and invisible life. This is your gut, and deep within it, a remarkable process unfolds with every bite you take. It's here that bacteria, trillions of them, form what might be the most efficient assembly line in nature. Each species has a station. Each station performs a task. Together, they take your food and turn it into you. You eat a meal, let's say rice, beans, and avocado. As the food is broken down by enzymes in your mouth and stomach, it arrives in the intestines, still full of nutrients your body alone cannot unlock. But your microbes can dot like highly trained workers. They go to work. They identify starches, fibers, fat, sorting them with chemical precision. They break bonds that your human enzymes cannot. First come the fermenters. They take dietary fiber and transform it into short-chain fatty acids, butyrate, propionate. These compounds are energy for your gut cells. They help reduce inflammation. They keep your digestive lining strong and sealed. Next, the vitamin synthesizers step in. Some bacteria produce B vitamins, like B12 and folate. Others make vitamin K, crucial for blood clotting. In another corner of the microbial assembly line, amino acids are reshaped. Bacteria convert leftovers from proteins into neurotransmitters, like serotonin and dopamine, that influence your mood. Still others dismantle polyphenols from plant foods. These complex molecules become antioxidants, defending your cells from stress. It's not just what you eat, it's what your microbes do with what you eat. They break down oxalates and phytates, unlocking calcium and magnesium. They even assist in fat digestion, modifying bile acids so they can emulsify fats more effectively. This assembly line doesn't end at digestion. It reaches into your immune system. Your microbes produce molecules that calm or activate immune cells. They signal your body to tolerate helpful microbes and fight harmful ones. It's quality control, biological and chemical. Each batch of food gets tested. Each molecule gets examined, and the assembly line adapts. Eat more legumes, and certain strains flourish. Shift to more processed foods, and others take over often with less helpful effects. The workers change with the workload. This microbial factory is flexible, but not infinite. It needs a steady supply of raw materials, fiber, prebiotics, diverse plant compounds. It needs rest from constant sugar spikes and synthetic additives. When well cared for, the bacterial assembly line operates in quiet perfection. But when disturbed by antibiotics, stress, or poor diet, it can falter. Toxins leak, nutrients go unabsorbed, signals get crossed. Still, the factory can be rebuilt. Within days of nourishing change, new workers arrive. Old strains return. The gut's assembly line hums again. It's not just about digestion. It's about energy, immunity, even emotion. Your bacteria turn your breakfast into brain fuel. They convert your lunch into a calmer immune response. Your dinner becomes strength, stamina, sleep. They do this every day, every meal, without thanks. Without pause. Tonight, as your body begins to wind down, your microbes begin to ramp up. The food you ate earlier is now moving through this great assembly line. Quiet processes, invisible hands. They do not judge what you eat. They simply respond, and in doing so, they help build the foundation of your well-being. The gut is not just a place of breakdown. It's a place of creation. A soup becomes serotonin. A salad becomes strength. A grain becomes guidance for your immune cells. All through this bacterial assembly line, you are not alone in your digestion. You never were. In every bite, you are partnered with life older than time. Ancient allies, crafting the molecules that fuel your every breath, every thought, every dream. So sleep now, knowing that work continues, not with noise or light, but in silence, in softness, in symbiosis. You are being nourished still, transformed still, cared for by the invisible world within. And when you wake, you will wake with more than you had before. More strength, more energy, more of yourself, because the assembly line never stops. There's a connection running through Usatul, invisible, profound. It weaves from your gut to your brain, from your microbes to your moods, and it begins with digestion. Every meal you eat does more than fill your belly. It stirs a hidden conversation between your bacteria and your immune system, between your gut and your feelings. And this, too, is how bacteria help you digest food, but life. Let's begin with immunity. Your gut is home to nearly 70% of your immune system, not tucked away in distant organs, but right there, just beyond a thin layer of cells. Bacteria live close. Immune cells watch closely. And from their interactions comes balance or, sometimes, imbalance. The gut wall is lined with receptors that detect microbial messages. Friendly bacteria send calming signals. They teach your body tolerance. They say, this is safe, this is familiar, don't overreact. In return, immune cells secrete antibodies, like secretaries, handing out badges telling the body who belongs. This alliance keeps inflammation low. It keeps autoimmune responses quiet. It helps your body learn when to fight and when to stand down. Your bacteria shape the immune cell's education. Without microbes, immune systems become confused, hyperactive, aggressive, uncertain. Now shift your gaze a little higher toward emotion. In the last decade, scientists have discovered what poets have long known. The gut feels, and not metaphorically. The gut is lined with over 100 million nerve cells, a second brain, they call it. And this brain listens to your bacteria. Some strains of gut bacteria produce GABA-A inhibitory neurotransmitter that calms the nervous system. Others generate serotonin, about 90% of your body's supply. These chemicals do not stay in the gut. They travel through the bloodstream. They whisper to your brain. They affect your mood, your appetite, your sense of well-being. When your microbial community is rich and diverse, you're more likely to feel resilient, centered, stable. But when it's damaged by antibiotics, poor diet, or stress, the emotional equilibrium shifts. Anxiety may rise, sadness may deepen, even focus can falter. This is digestion at its most mysterious. You eat a bowl of oats with berries. Your bacteria ferment the fiber. Short-chain fatty acids are released. They bind to receptors that lower inflammation. In turn, influences mood. Chronic inflammation is linked to depression, brain fog, and fatigue. A simple meal, transformed into emotional balance or imbalanced. Imbalanced depending on who's in your gut. And it goes both ways. Stress changes your microbiome. In moments of worry, the nervous system sends signals to the gut. Motility changes, Stomach acid fluctuates. Beneficial bacteria shrink. Opportunistic ones bloom. The bacteria feel your feelings, and then they reflect them back. You are in constant conversation. Your gut bacteria talk to immune cells. Immune cells send messages to the brain. The brain speaks back through hormones, through stress signals, through attention and sleep. It is a loop, a circuit, a dialogue, and digestion is the foundation. Because before your body can fight infection, before your mind can feel calm or alert, you must first be nourished. And that nourishment depends on these microbial helpers. They decide how much energy you extract from food. They influence how many calories become stored or burned. They determine whether vitamins are absorbed or lost. And all of this, in turn, shapes how you feel. Even cravings are not entirely your own. Some bacteria nudge you toward sugar. Others reward you for fiber. They are not manipulative. They are surviving, and in doing so, they influence your digestion, your choices, your immunity, your moods. And so, the body listens. White blood cells tune their responses. Neurons adjust their thresholds. Hormones rise and fall. The simple act of eating a sandwich, a stew, a salad is also a stimulus. A message, and the bacterial reply comes in the form of molecules, modulations, balances held. When your microbiome thrives, digestion becomes a symphony, not just of broken down starches and fats, but of finely tuned responses. You don't just digest food. You digest experience, the comfort of a warm meal, the safety of routine, the joy of a favorite dish. And your bacteria, unseen and unspeaking, help shape the meaning of each bite. They help your immune system know friend from foe. They help your brain understand rest from unrest. You are never digesting alone. You carry with you an entire system of support, a symphony of signals, a delicate peace treaty between species, and while you sleep tonight, that conversation continues. Cells regenerate, microbes shift and grow. Immune cells repair and recalibrate. Serotonin pulses, cortisol fades. Inflammation cools, the body resets, the brain rests, and the bacteria. They keep working, not just digesting your last meal, but preparing you for the next moment, the next feeling, the next sunrise. So breathe in deeply, let your belly soften, know that inside you something extraordinary is always at work. A bacterial dance, an immune ballet, a whisper between gut and mind, all born from a single act, a meal shared, a bite taken, a microbe awakened. Every meal is more than a moment of nourishment. It's a quiet offering, a mutual exchange, a ritual of feeding that serves not only you, but the vast microbial world that lives inside you. Your gut bacteria don't just help you digest food. They depend on your food to survive, and in return, they shape what your food becomes. You chew a carrot, a bite of apple, a spoonful of oatmeal. To you, it's fuel. To them, it's home habitat, an opportunity. Some parts of your food are digested by your body, but much of it, the fibers, resistant starches, polyphenols, reach your colon intact. These are the foods that your microbes feast on. These are prebiotics, not living organisms like probiotics, but the foods that nourish them. Picture long chains of plant fiber, curling through your intestines. To your human enzymes, they're indigestible. But to your microbes, they're irresistible. They break these fibers down through fermentation, and what they give back are short-chain fatty acids, like butyrate, that lower inflammation, strengthen your gut lining, and even influence gene expression. You feed them leftovers, and they feed you healing. Your microbes also transform polyphenols from colorful fruits and vegetables into antioxidant compounds your body can actually use. Blueberries, pomegranates, green tea, they all contain gifts wrapped in complex forms. Your bacteria unwrap them. A handful of almonds becomes heart protection. A slice of garlic becomes immune support. You give, they give. But when the diet shifts, when sugar dominates, fiber fades, and diversity declines, the microbial landscape changes. Species that thrive on fiber begin to disappear. Others, more inflammatory, move in. The balance tips, the exchange becomes lopsided. Instead of anti-inflammatory compounds, your gut may become a source of low-grade inflammation. Instead of energy, you feel bloated. Instead of harmony, there is strain. You don't need exotic solutions. You need diversity. Whole grains, legumes, greens, bright-colored vegetables. Each new food brings new bacteria or fuels, ones already there. The more varied your plate, the richer your microbial garden. And with time, the rewards grow. You may find your digestion smoother, your energy steadier, your cravings quieter. You're not just feeding bacteria, you're guiding devolution in your gut. Microbes communicate with your immune cells. They influence how you metabolize fats and sugars. They affect how your brain responds to stress. This is a relationship that shapes your entire experience of being alive. And you shape it with every bite. Even simple shifts matter. Swapping soda for tea, adding lentils to dinner, sprinkling flaxseed into breakfast. Every time you make a gut-friendly choice, you strengthen the alliance. You may not see it. You may not feel it at first. But deep inside, a partnership is growing. Bacteria ferment. You benefit. They detoxify harmful compounds. They help maintain the rhythm of your bowels. They signal fullness to your brain. You give them the scraps your body can't use. They give you health in return. Even your mood may shift, because as they digest your food, they also help produce neurotransmitters. And a well-fed microbiome often means a calmer mind. The cycle continues. As you sleep tonight, the meal you ate hours ago is being shared, processed by your cells, but also by your oldest friends. A piece of dark chocolate, a forkful of spinach, a spoon of yogurt. Each one sends messages to the microbial world inside, and in turn, they send messages back to your immune system, your brain, your bloodstream. This is mutualism in motion, a relationship of reciprocity. They need you. You need them. A harmony not of words, but of chemistry. So tomorrow, when you eat, think of it, not as solitary consumption, but as collaboration, a banquet for many, a gift given and returned. Feed them well, and they will help build you, protect you. .com. You are never eating alone. Imagine a dinner without flavor, a garden without soil, a body without its microbes. You might not feel it immediately, but something vital is missing. The trillions of bacteria that help you digest your food are not just helpful, they are necessary. And when they vanish, the consequences echo far beyond your gut. Antibiotics can save lives, but they don't discriminate. They sweep through the body like fire, burning down the bad and the good. Within days, a thriving microbial ecosystem can become a wasteland. Diversity drops, balance collapses, fiber-loving species disappear. Opportunistic strains move in. What once was a calm, efficient digestive partnership becomes noisy, unstable, an inflamed dot, without the microbes to break down certain fibers. Fermentation falters, nutrients are lost. Bloating begins. You may feel more sluggish, more sensitive to foods, more prone to stomach upset. But the absence is not only physical, it is chemical. It is emotional. The bacteria that once helped produce serotonin, the calming neurotransmitter, are gone. Their signals to your brain go quiet. Mood shifts, sleep may suffer. Your immune system, once trained by your microbes, becomes confused, overreactive, inflamed. It may begin to attack friendly tissues, or fail to recognize harmful invaders. Chronic conditions can creep in. Irritable bowel, skin disorders, allergies, fatigue. You are not meant to live without them, and yet, in modern life, their absence is common. Too many antibiotics, too much processed food, too little fiber, too much stress. All of these chip away at the microbiome. Even birth itself matters. Babies born via cesarean section may miss out on crucial microbes from the birth canal. Formula feeding, while nourishing, offers a different microbial start than breast milk. Urban life often means less contact with soil, animals, and the outdoors, all sources of microbial richness. We are becoming a sanitized species, and our gut bugs are paying the price. But this is not a story without hope, because the microbiome is resilient. It responds. It rebuilds. With care, with time, with the right nourishment, it can bloom again. Foods rich in polyphenols, like berries, olive oil, and green tea can coax back helpful species. Fermented foods like yogurt, kimchi, sauerkraut can introduce allies. Fiber, especially from beans, oats, artichokes, flax, like scaffolding, supporting regrowth, even connection. With Natura, walk in the forest, digging in the garden can. Reintroduce microbial diversity. Probiotics may help, but food is still the master builder. And while some losses may be deep, new diversity can still flourish. You are not doomed by a single round of antibiotics. You are not trapped in imbalance forever. The gut remembers. The body adapts. And you are part of that healing. So what happens when they're gone? The silence is loud. The system stumbles. But when they return, digestion smooths. Energy returns. Calm emerges. You feed them, and they rebuild you. A meal is not just nourishment. It's an invitation to return. And little by little, the world inside you becomes whole again. Even now, as you lie in stillness, your microbes work or rest, depending on what you've given them. Let them rebuild. Let them thrive, and they will help you heal. Because you were never meant to digest alone. There's a mind beneath your mind, a thinking web that never dreams, never sleeps. It hums inside your belly, silent but alive. They call it the enteric nervous system, but you might know it better as your gut instinct. It contains over 100 million neurons, more than in your spinal cord. It stretches along the winding length of your digestive tract, from esophagus to rectum, and it listens to pressure, to hunger, to pain, to the quiet whispers of the bacteria within you. You see, your microbes don't just help digest food. They speak, they signal, they influence, they help produce neurotransmitters, like dopamine and serotonin. They help regulate your stress hormones. They nudge your cravings. They modulate your mood. And they do all this by working with your second brain. This brain doesn't think in words. It doesn't hold memories. But it does guide. It tells your stomach when to churn, your intestines when to relax, your body when to feel full or empty, and when things go wrong in your gut, your second brain feels it. Bloating, cramping, constipation. These are not just digestive issues. They're distress signals. Anxiety can begin in your belly. Depression can deepen in your intestines. The gut and the brain are forever linked by the vagus nerve, two-way superhighway that carries emotion and sensation back and forth, moment by moment. And the bacteria, they ride that highway too. They influence how fast your gut moves. They adjust how your immune system reacts. They even help train the cells that line your intestines, keeping the barrier tight so toxins don't leak into your bloodstream. But when the balance shifts, when harmful bacteria overgrow or helpful ones disappear, this gut-brain harmony begins to falter. You may feel more anxious, more tired, more irritable. You may struggle with sleep, appetite, memory, and all the while the gut's neural network tries to adapt, to recalibrate, to make sense of the changing inner world. But here's the hopeful part. This second brain can heal, and your microbes can guide it. Prebiotics-fibers that feed good bacteria can lead to shifts in mood and focus. Probiotics have shown potential in reducing anxiety and improving emotional regulation. Even meditation and slow breathing can calm the vagus nerve, soothing both brains at once. The language of this second brain is not logic. It's rhythm, routine, balance. Eat slowly, chew well, rest after meals, sleep deeply. All these support the microbial messengers and the nervous net they work with. Your second brain is not a myth. It's not a metaphor. It's a real living system, and it exists in partnership with trillions of bacteria who help it do its work. So when you say you, feel it in your gut, you truly do. When you experience butterflies before a big moment or a sinking stomach with bad news, that's your microbes and your neurons co-writing emotion. They don't just help you digest every meal. They help you digest every moment. Even now, as your body softens and your breathing slows, your second brain listens, it processes the stillness. It learns from the day. It keeps its gentle rhythm, while the microbes hum their ancient lullaby, nourishing your thoughts from the inside out. This is not the end of digestion. It's the beginning of awareness. Because you are not just what you eat. You are what your microbes transform, what your gut interprets, what your second brain remembers in silence, a symphony beneath your skin, a mind behind your mind. Softly now, let it guide you to sleep. Healing is not a single act. It is a daily dialogue between you, your habits, and the microscopic world within. When your gut bacteria are out of balance, your body feels it, not just in digestion, but in mood, immunity, and energy. And yet, this inner forest of microbes is resilient. It remembers how to bloom. To begin healing your microbiome, you must first understand what damages it: processed foods, excessive antibiotics, lack of fiber, chronic stress, poor sleep. Each of these chips away at the rich diversity of life within you. And diversity is everything. The more kinds of bacteria you host, the more resilient your gut becomes. Each species has a role digesting different foods, producing vitamins, calming inflammation, repairing the gut lining. So how do you invite them back? It starts with nourishment. Whole unprocessed foods, leafy greens, colorful vegetables, fermented treasures like yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, and kimchi, legumes and grains, nuts and seeds. These are not just food for youth, they are banquets for your microbes. Next comes rhythm, regular meal times, sufficient sleep, gentle movement each day. These create a predictable environment where beneficial microbes can thrive. Your gut loves routine. Then there is rest. Rest from constant eating. Intermittent fasting, done wisely, gives your gut lining time to repair. It also encourages microbial renewal. Stress reduction is another pillar. Chronic stress alters the balance of your gut bacteria, favoring inflammation. But mindfulness, deep breathing, and spending time in nature all help. Even laughter nourishes your microbiome. And don't forget, connection. Yes, human connection. Social interaction lowers stress and supports the parasympathetic nervous system, which governs digestion and microbial harmony. Nature matters too. Time outdoors, in gardens, on trails, with soil under your fingernails. These reintroduce microbes you were designed to know. Antibiotics, when needed, are life-saving. But after their use, repair is vital. Probiotic supplements may help, but they are a bridge, not a long-term solution. Real healing comes from rebuilding terrain, creating the conditions where good bacteria want to stay. Fiber is the crown jewel. Soluble fiber in oats, apples, beans. Insoluble fiber in whole grains and veggies. Fiber isn't digested by you. It's digested by them. And in return, they produce short-chain fatty acids, healing compounds that nourish your colon cells and calm your immune system. Even your thoughts play a role. Gratitude, joy, compassion. These shift the nervous system. They slow inflammation. They allow your gut and its residents to heal. So tonight, think of your body as a garden. Each bite you take is a seed. Each breath, a drop of rain. Each kind thought, a ray of sunlight. You are not broken. You are in renewal. Your microbes await your care, and they repay it with health, harmony, and hope. Healing your microbiome is not a cleanse. It's not a trend. It's a return to balance, to partnership, to the ancient truth that we are not alone. You don't need to do everything at once. Start small. Eat one new plant this week. Walk barefoot on grass. Sip warm tea in silence. Each act tells your body, I am ready to heal, and your microbes will answer in the quiet of your belly. They stir, they grow, they glow. They carry the memory of every bite, every breath, every moment of rest. And they work patiently, endlessly to help you digest not just food, but life itself. Sleep now, in the gentle knowing that healing is already underway. The table is set. Steam curls upward from a warm bowl. A spoon rests quietly beside it. You sit, you breathe, and without fanfare, a moment begins. This is not just eating, it is communion with the world, with yourself, with the millions of lives inside you, because every meal is a meeting, and every bite begins a conversation with microbes that never sleep. As your teeth break down food, your mind drifts. But inside, a cascade has begun. Chewing triggers enzymes. Saliva mingles. Your body remembers what to do, and your bacteria waiting farther down. Prepare for the celebration. That bowl of soup filled with lentils, carrots, spices, is not just nourishing you, it is nourishing them. In your gut, fiber becomes feast. Spices awaken specific strains. Even the color of vegetables signals different microbial guests. A piece of garlic might excite one kind, a spoonful of yogurt. Another, your meal becomes a map, tracing flavor into flora. And while you relax, reading a book, listening to the rain inside you, an entire city lights up. A kaleidoscope of bacteria moves into action. They digest what you cannot. They unlock nutrients. They produce vitamins. They craft molecules that calm inflammation and fuel your brain. This quiet work is ancient. Long before humans built cities, we built partnerships with microbes. Cooking was our way of honoring the relationship. Fermenting, soaking, slow, simmering. We fed them and they fed us. Even now, this exchange continues. Each bite you take shapes your inner landscape. Each meal leaves a microbial memory. Did you pause before eating? Did you chew slowly? Did your meal include diversity colors, textures, life? The bacteria, remember. And like gardeners, they cultivate your health based on what you provide. But it's not only food, it's the moment. A rushed meal, eaten while scrolling, or arguing, or driving, doesn't land the same way. Your gut feels your emotions. Your microbes sense your stress. And in this moment, they adapt. Cortisol rises. Inflammatory signals change the microbial balance. But a peaceful meal, savored slowly, with gratitude, even if simple, that invites harmony. Microbes are attuned to rhythm, to tone, to presence. So this is not just nutrition advice. It's a gentle reminder. How you eat matters just as much as what you eat. A quiet meal, a deep breath, a few words of thanks. These nourish you on levels beyond molecules. Imagine your body as a temple, your gut, its inner sanctuary. The bacteria, sacred workers in the shadows. You light a candle with presence. You offer food with kindness, and they respond, transforming fiber into short-chain fatty acids, turning starch into calm, turning leftovers into vitality. One bite becomes 10,000 transformations. Even your mood shifts, because these bacteria speak with your brain. They whisper through nerves, through chemicals, through messengers carried in blood. A spoonful of beans may soften your anxiety. A handful of walnuts may brighten your thoughts. The connection is quiet but constant, and every meal writes a new chapter. So take this moment, as you rest and listen, to honor the small things. The crunch of a carrot, the scent of cinnamon, the warmth of tea on your tongue. These are more than sensations. They are messages, invitations to presence, to gratitude, to health. You are never just feeding yourself. You are feeding a family of invisible allies, and their well-being is yours. So tomorrow, when the sun rises and you prepare your meal, pause. Choose one food with intention. Eat it slowly. Chew with patience, and know that far within, a celebration begins. Microbes wake, they stretch, they get to work, turning food into fuel, moments into memory, life into life. Each meal is a prayer, each bite a blessing. And in the silence of your belly, you are never alone. You are a single being, a person with a name, a breath, a heart. But within you, there is a multitude. Even now, as you rest, as your muscles soften, and your breath slows, your body continues its quiet symphony. And at the heart of that music are the microbes. They never leave you. From the moment you were born, they began arriving. Tiny travelers from your mother's skin, the birth canal, the air around you. They settled on your skin, in your mouth, in the folds of your intestines. And there they stayed, multiplying, adapting, thriving. They became your lifelong companions. They do not sleep. They do not wander. They do not judge. They simply live and help. You live to dot through every bite, every breath, every fever, every fall. They adjust their rhythm to yours. They protect you. They communicate with your immune system. They help decide what's safe and what's not. And in return, they ask only for shelter. And food, your food in your gut alone. Trillions of bacteria work like a bustling city. Each species with a task, each strain with a role. Some break down fiber, some synthesize vitamins, some fight invaders, some simply observe. Together, they maintain your balance, even when you feel tired, even when you feel alone. They are still there, working, caring in their own microbial way. You are never truly empty. That ache in your chest, that loneliness in the night, it may seem vast, but your body is not vacant. It's vibrant, teeming with life, with action, with invisible kindness, and the way you care for yourself, it matters to them. A warm soup, a deep sleep, a gentle walk, laughter with a friend. Each act of nourishment tells them you are safe. And when you are safe, they flourish. They balance inflammation. They craft molecules that protect your heart. They create neurotransmitters that whisper to your brain. All is well. Your gut becomes your guardian, and your microbes. The silent healers. Even grief cannot shake them. They adapt. They persist. When you're under stress, they shift their roles. When you recover, they come back into harmony. They learn you. And with every meal, every breath, every quiet moment, you teach them who you are. Your body becomes a book, and they read it. Every day, your microbiome isn't just a collection of bacteria. It's a memory bank, a community, an intelligence. They remember the fiber from blueberries, the warmth of cumin, the fermented stems of kimchi. They remember the antibiotics you took, the weeks you forgot to sleep, The times you nourished yourself with care, and they respond not with words, but with action, with resilience. You are not static, and neither are they. Together, you evolve. Together, you adapt. When you travel, your microbes adapt to the water, to the spices, to the climate. They help your body adjust. When you fall ill, they rally. Sometimes they struggle. Sometimes they need help. But they never abandon you. Even during illness, they send signals. They try to rebalance. They call for reinforcements, and when you heal, they are right there, picking up where they left off. You carry more bacterial DNA than human genes. Doesn't that make you wonder, who are you? A human, a colony, a blend of both. You are a partnership, a walking, breathing miracle of cooperation and shared destiny. Even your moods are shaped by this inner crowd. When your gut bacteria are nourished, they reward you with clarity, calm, and energy. When they are imbalanced, you may feel foggy, tense, low. It is not weakness, it is communication. Your microbes do not speak in words. They speak in feeling, and when you learn to listen, you begin to know you are never just one. You are many. So tonight, as you close your eyes, let this comfort you. Your breath is yours, but it is also theirs. Each inhale feeds them oxygen indirectly. Each beat of your heart moves their nutrients. And as you dream, they do not stop. They continue to digest, to protect, to soothe. You are held from within. You are never alone. And so, as your breath slows, as the night deepens around you, remember this truth that now lives inside you. You are never alone. Within every meal, within every bite, tiny lives awaken, busy, ancient, and quietly loyal. They do not speak, yet they shape your story, helping you break, build, and become. The bacteria that live in you are not invaders. They are collaborators, partners in digestion, in defense, in thought, in feeling. This is not the end of the story. With every new day and every new meal, they return again and again to help you digest, to help you heal, to help you be . So tonight, as you rest, give thanks to the invisible, the microscopic, the magnificent . And when you wake, may you eat with more wonder, breathe with more ease, and move through your day knowing your body is not just yours. It is a living world. If this journey into the hidden helpers of your gut made you smile, think, or drift gently into sleep, leave a comment below and let us know where in the world you're watching from. Like this video if it brought you peace, and subscribe to Science for Sleep for more poetic journeys through science and self. You are vast. You are ancient. You are never, ever alone. Good night. Good night.